Hi everybody, it's time for another J9’s Patio Chat check-in. I'm sneaking it in before midnight, as I sometimes do. It was a good Friday night in the end. It was a crazy day, but I spent my evening with Paul and Anita, and we ordered sushi from Sushi Nami, so we supported a local restaurant. I brought some wine that I had from Bishop Cellar, and Paul and Anita also had some sparkling, which may have also come from Bishop Cellar, I'm not entirely sure. But I'll tell you a little bit about my day in a second. I'm going to get right to the birthdays. It is Amy McDonald's birthday, and she is in Calgary. And I know Amy from home. She's from Cape Breton. Her parents, Arlene and Brian, are my brother's godparents, Bryce's godparents. And her brother, Jonathan, just recently got married. So Amy, I hope you had a wonderful birthday. It is Leah Trudell's birthday, and Leah is my cousin on my mom's side. It is my Aunt Olive's daughter. And I haven't seen Leah for a long time, but I think the last time I saw her was in Newfoundland at our family reunion. And anyway, Leah and I are close in age, so we were really close, like growing up. And it's too bad that I haven't seen her for a while, but I hope, Leah, that you had a wonderful birthday. It is Declan Smith's birthday, and he's 23 years old, a former Eagle, and his billet mom, former billet mom, Annette, I know, is very proud. So I hope Declan had a great birthday. And it's also Phyllis's birthday. She's 80 years old, and that is my friend Tommy Bootlear's mom. And Tommy's back in Glace Bay, and so I hope that Phyllis had a great birthday. I missed a birthday yesterday. It was Buddy the dog's birthday. Not your dog, Michelle, but Roselle Kerrigan's dog. He was 2 years old, so I hope Buddy had a great birthday. So that was yesterday. I do, of course, have to acknowledge that today is the 29th anniversary of the McDonald's murders. I wish I didn't have to do that. It's hard to believe that it was 29 years ago, and I remember very clearly doing the patio chat last year. I can actually remember how I felt, and I remember where I was sitting. I did the patio chat in my bedroom. It was a really awful day, and I always find that a difficult day because it just always has a cloud over it, of course, because we lost 3 people on that day and then a 4th person much later. And so I'm not going to talk about the people who did the murders because they don't deserve to have their names read out loud. But I will tell you that there were 3 people that were lost that day. Jimmy Fagan, who was 27 years old, Donna Warren, who was 22, Neil Burrows, who was 29, and Arlene McNeil, who was 20 years old at the time, was severely injured, and she became disabled. She was disabled after that incident, and she unfortunately died in 2018. So it's a time that people that grew up in Sydney always remember, and I always remember where I was and my mom waking me up the next day to tell me about what had happened. It will be something I would never forget. But I want to send out lots of love to all of the people in my life that knew Jimmy and Donna and Neil and Arlene. I didn't know any of them. I knew who Arlene was a little bit, but I didn't really know any of them. At the time, my boyfriend's brother worked at McDonald's. And, you know, we all felt connected in some way, and it was a terrible, terrible day. But I just want to send out a lot of love to all of those of you who knew those families and who still grieve. And yeah. So where do you go from there? You go to something much happier. It's hard to make the transition, but it was a happy day in some ways. And one of those ways was I really came to realize how much people are looking out for me. Thank goodness. I had an insane day at work. I started work today at 8. I got 2 urgent requests. I got mired in work, completely had forgotten. I knew that today was likely the day that my age category was going to open up for the vaccine, but I got mired in work. And then the next thing I saw, my friend Michelle was calling me. I had all these texts from Heather and Sarah, and I was thinking, oh my God, and my cousin Tracy had sent a message, and I thought, oh my goodness, anyway, of course, it was time to book the vaccine, 45 and over. So thankfully, I am so thankful I got in the queue, but my friend Heather had already been in the queue and she actually booked my appointment for me. So I am getting vaccinated with Pfizer on May 17th at the IWK, and I could not be happier. I actually cried when she told me that the appointment went through. Anyway, thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that looked out for me. Oh my God. Anyway, there we are. It was a really hard day today in Nova Scotia that I didn't really quite take in because I was so busy at work. I worked until 5:30 today, and then I went to Paul and Anita's. I had a video chat with my friend Michelle, and she told me about the number of people who were reported as testing positive and the ones that they hadn't reported, but they suspected. And it was hard. So I hope everybody is ready to really, as you should have already been doing, but really buckle down. And guys, we really, we care about each other here in this province. Please do your part. Stay home. I have ordered food from, I was going to say Good Chef. It's not Good Chef. Chef's Plate. That my friend Jen had given me some free ones, and I ordered more. I have some things in the freezer. I am not planning on going anywhere. I went to Paul and Anita's. I am going to go to the testing, pop-up testing to volunteer because that's part of my contributing to the public health response. But I won't be going anywhere else. There is nowhere else to go. I mean, you need to get essentials, and essentials are groceries. And I know that people living with substance use disorder they have different options that they need. And there are other things that people will need. But for me personally, I don't need to go anywhere but the pop-up site and Paul and Anita's. So that will be where you can find me. Okay, so, and I want to thank Paul and Anita so much because I'm so appreciative. We saw Paul and Anita's neighbor today when we were bringing back our, we actually went, we took a walk to pick up our food. And we were lucky because there weren't very many people on the street. We had decided we would go and wear our masks, and then we would, see if there were many people on the street, and there weren't. But anyway, we saw Paul and Anita's neighbor, and she lives on her own. And I just really feel for people that may not have anyone that they can connect with. So please, as I always say, reach out to me. I'm here to help people. I sometimes have to take a little bit of my own time as well, but I am definitely here to listen. So I think that's it for tonight, guys. Please take good care of yourselves and take good care of others. And I will check in with you tomorrow. Bye for now.